freezing dawn over eastern Poland, the silence breaks. Not by thunder, but the mechanical roar of rotor blades. The sound that makes armored columns tremble. The AH-64 Apache, America's deadliest attack helicopter, has arrived. Dozens of them, in perfect formation, slicing through fog. Today, the skies over Poland belong to NATO. NATO calls it enhanced forward presence. But Moscow knows better. This isn't routine training, it's a message. A message carved in steel and fire. With more than 40 Apaches stationed near Belarus, Russia's western defenses are staring down the world's most lethal rotary fleet since the Cold War. Inside the Kremlin, alarms flare. Because this time, Warsaw isn't just a staging post, it's becoming a fortress. The AH-64 Apache, a name Russia remembers from the Gulf, Iraq, Afghanistan. Built to destroy tanks before they reach firing distance. Armed with Hellfire missiles, 30mm chain guns, and radar capable of locking targets through smoke, snow, even night. Now Poland has them, leased first as AH-64DS, preparing for 96 AH-64E Guardian models to arrive in 2028. A massive $10 billion modernization, the fastest in Polish military history. Each helicopter is more than a weapon, it's a symbol of deterrence. The plan was quiet at first. US bases in Germany, Dutch airfields, NATO transport squadrons, moving piece by piece toward Poland. By the time dawn broke over Inner Oklaw and Lublin, satellite imagery showed forward bases sprouting like mushrooms overnight, shelters, radar tents, and rearming points carved out less than 100 kilometers from Belarus. Convoys rolled through the mist, fuel trucks in columns, Polish ground crews ready for rotation drills. This wasn't a gesture of alliance, this was NATO showing teeth. The message: readiness, not retreat. In Moscow, reports flooded the defense ministry. Dozens of Apaches operational. Tactical refueling systems deployed. Russian generals saw the nightmare coming. Helicopters capable of wiping out armored thrusts long before contact. State TV called it provocation. Behind the scenes, Defense Minister Shoigu raised readiness in Kaliningrad. Air defense units scrambled. The S-400 missile network adjusted its scope, but secrecy couldn't hide the truth. NATO now held the upper hand in speed, precision, and psychological pressure. Major exercises under Polish Apache initiative began mid-2025 between American and Polish aviators. At Ustka range, US V Corps tested the Spike NLOS missile, a system capable of striking over 30 kilometers away, far beyond Russian tank range. Observers from NATO allies watched as Poland's first Apache brigades integrated live-fire tactics with ground forces. It wasn't just practice, it was rehearsal for battlefield dominance. Every night vision takeoff, every satellite flare was a warning. NATO could strike without crossing borders. That's deterrence redefined. Belarus finds itself trapped in the middle, allowing Russian troops but fearing becoming the spark of the next war. From Mesa to Brest, radar screens lit up red with every Apache sortie. Russian and Belarusian pilots train harder, but their optics were aging, fuel was scarce. For every helicopter Moscow put up, NATO could field 10 more, newer, faster, deadlier. In the air, balance isn't numbers, it's capability. And right now, the skies lean west. The first Polish civilians recorded the Apaches near the border at dusk. Twin lines of ghostly silhouettes floating through fog. Millions watched the clip overnight. NATO ready. Russia warned. Became a viral slogan. Every rotor became propaganda. Deterrence through visibility. At Ramstein, NATO commanders called it psychological tempo. No rockets fired, no engagement, just presence. Presence that bent Moscow's confidence one flight at a time. That's deterrence redefined. While the world watched, planners at the Pentagon drafted contingency North Gate. If escalation happens, Apaches pair with UH-60 Black Hawks for rapid troop insertions. Abrams tanks move forward from Polish bases. Electronic warfare teams jam Kaliningrad radar. Within hours, a defensive rotation could morph into a strike formation. The Kremlin responded with Iskander-M missiles and Su-35 patrols. A new front is born, not of bombs, but willpower. Analysts mapped three fates. Scenario 1, sustained pressure, NATO keeps rotating Apaches, forcing Russia to burn resources shadowboxing a phantom war. Scenario 2. Accident trigger. 1 radar lock, 1 misfire. Europe falls into limited war. Scenario 3. Full escalation. Russia miscalculates. NATO invokes Article 5, and the first modern air mech war ignites over Europe. For now, all eyes stay fixed on restraint, but the line grows thinner by the day. That's deterrence redefined. When attacks stop in air, they start online. Russian hackers hit Polish logistics networks. NATO cyber units retaliated, cutting reconnaissance feeds for hours. For the first time, real and digital warfare unfolded in the same battle space. Each code injection mirrored the sound of whirling rotors. Invisible combat, relentless tension. By dawn, silence returned. Engines powered down. Apaches parked beneath tactical lights. No missiles needed. Because silence itself was power. Poland had become NATO's armored lung, breathing resolve across Eastern Europe. To Russia, humiliation dressed as training. To Washington, deterrence without destruction. And to the world, a warning. The age of slow deterrence is over. The age of instant escalation has begun. That's deterrence redefined. The question isn't if the next confrontation comes. It's how ready the world is when it does. Subscribe for the next chapter, because once the Apaches take flight, history doesn't wait. Russia is stunned. NATO is ready. And the roar over Poland is only the beginning.